Hey, welcome to the Spirit of the Outdoors. Today, I'm in a campground and I'm doing something a little different adventure. It's going to be all baking. I've got the Coleman oven and it's going to be an all bake day. I'm going to bake everything. And there's lots of people in this campground, but going to do this. Someone is in my campsite. It's not open until 3. Right now it's 11:30. So I'm just taking up this other one. Hopefully no one comes in here. And it's going to be an all baked day. All baking. All baking. So I'm going to make some baked oatmeal. I'm going to make some baked sandwiches. And I'm going to bake a pizza. So all baked day. And I'm going to see how this oven does. I'm going to put the Coleman Camp Oven to the test. Stay tuned. I'm going to set it all up. I'll bring you back when I get it going. Alright, it's all set up on this little Coleman stove. It fits nicely on that burner. I've got it running and the temperature has not moved up yet, but you can see I can already feel heat inside. And oh, I forgot to put the rack in. So I'll do that, but it's heating up nicely already. Right, so I've got some oatmeal that I was soaking overnight. And I'm going to put some butter and some topping on top of that. It's up to 400. And I'm going to put that in and bake it for a little bit and have some baked oatmeal. So this is just oatmeal and craisins and some brown sugar and some walnuts in there. Pecans are in there. So I'm going to put some other topping on that and bake that. Alright, got it in there. And I've got my timer set. So we'll see how it does. The other thing I have going here is just my pot with water in it on the Coleman 1 burner. And I'm just going to turn that off because I got nice boiling water now. And we'll see where this goes. So with this little stove, this little Coleman stove, you can see it underneath there. It's just a very simple, small burner stove. The temperature has stayed really close to 400 degrees. And this is not that much. This thing doesn't put out that many BTUs. So this is not a bad little setup. And as you can see, I'll open it up. And that oatmeal is bubbling along the sides and starting to get really good looking. Now, chances are it's going to be it might burn on the bottom. That's the only issue with this thing that people have come across, and they put a stone in the bottom. I have not purchased a stone yet. It's a square stone that sits on the bottom, and it kind of disperses the heat a little better than coming straight up. But other than that, it really works well. So this is the oatmeal. You can see that it kind of browned because I had this mixture of oats and butter on the top. So that kind of browned. It got there. I might have gone, it went 15 minutes, and I might have gone just a little bit longer. But it looks pretty good. So we're going to try it. It is extremely hot. And I'm going to mix it up a bit here. I'm going to keep this glove on because it's really hot. Oh yeah, it got nice and crispy on the edges. That's pretty tasty. And really hot. Left my water in the car. Very hot. So you can see a little loaf pan, a little aluminum loaf pan that you can get at the store. You can even get it at the dollar store. And that I just soaked the oatmeal in milk overnight with raisins and pecans and brown sugar. Then I used a little, actually just a little granola crushed up, and sprinkled that on. I softened that up with a little bit of soy milk and put that on the top, put some butter on it. And that worked really well. Very tasty. I think I got a little bit of a sharp edge on my spoon. Anyway, that was the first one. So a little baked oatmeal, and you can kind of set that up beforehand. You don't have to make all the oatmeal, and then you can put it in a container. I used it was a plastic container, and soak that overnight, and then just bring it out and you bake it. And you can go as much or as little. I mean, this is, this would be more than enough for like 2 people. But you can make enough for the whole family. And it's easy to do. And you got the camp oven. And then you're not, yeah, you can make boiled water and make instant oatmeal, or even old-fashioned oats if you want to, and cook them over a stove with a pot. The nice thing about this, and you can get a big loaf pan or even a cake pan and put it in. That'll fit in there. And you can put this in. You don't have to stir it. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to cook it, keep cooking it, stand by the stove. You got the oven going, and I did a bunch of other things while this was baking. So then you can, 15 minutes you pull that out, 15-20 minutes you pull that out and dish it up. It's a nice little feature. Again, that is big. It folds down, but it's still heavy. It's about 2 pounds. This is definitely for car camping. You can see I'm in a campground. This is definitely for car camping, but it's an alternative to, being able to bake some things instead of cooking everything on a pot and a pan over a Coleman stove or whatever kind of stove you have. Whether that's a propane, butane, most likely propane. You can even have the Camp Chef big one that's has legs and stuff, and you can but you can cook with that on it too, and you could have the griddle on another one and make up bacon or whatever. But this way you're not having to, you don't have to cook in a pot, everything in a pot, or everything on a, in a pan. This is, baking. So I baked the oatmeal. So the next one, I'm going to make some sandwiches and little sliders in a pan, and that's the next meal. Some turkey and cheese, and I'm going to let that bake again. So you can get the Hawaiian buns in I think in 12, and put them in a pan. They'd fit in a cake pan, or certainly a 9x13. This might not fit a 9x13, but you could probably find some kind of a pan that would fit in there. You could put them all in, and you put I'm going to put meat and cheese, and I'm going to put some ranch dressing on the inside. I'm going to coat it with butter and some spices on the top, and I'm going to let it bake and see how that turns out. So again, something that you can do, again, instead of just having cold sandwiches, this is a twist on that. You can get some hot sandwiches. So in a little while I'm going to be eating again, but I'll bring. This is the Lixada alcohol stove with its little pot stand, and I'm hopeful that this fits on top. Oh, it doesn't. I might have to mod this a little bit. Hang on a second. So I bent those stands a little bit. You can see how I bent it. You can see there how it's bent. And now I think, yeah, the cup sits on top. Okay. It's not great, but it's not gonna fall off of there. Okay. So I'm gonna try this again and make some coffee. So yeah, once again, chai latte in my purple cup. It's a pretty fancy little cup. I got a set of these, this size and then the small size, and it was on clearance, so I picked them up. They fold up. Not all that compact, but it's just kind of a nice, easy cup. I have fun with them. They were cheap and they're easy to use, so that's what I'm doing. I'm looking because there's lots of people moving through this campground, and I am not in my site. My site is next door, but it's occupied until 3 o'clock, and I'm just hopeful that no one else shows up in this site. So I'm just kind of renting this space, so to speak, until someone shows up. Anyway, I'm gonna make some more chai latte here for the afternoon and have a little afternoon. So the only thing I will not be baking is my tea or coffee. So I used this one is, I don't know if you can see that, Lexada. I have a red camp, and this one, this is where that came from. This is the red camp. They all work pretty identical to the Trangia. It's got the O-ring in there, so you can put the cover back on. This is still a little warm, so I don't want to do that yet. It's the same process as using the Trangia. This is the little pot stand works well if you've got a windscreen, which that's what this is. It goes around it. Otherwise, it's pretty wide open, and you will not get, if it's at all windy, which it's a little bit today, if it's at all windy, you will not, this thing will not be your best bet, but it works in a pinch. This is easy enough to use. It doesn't fold down. And a bee just came and decided to maybe try out my, I don't know if you can see the bee. It's right there. Just checking out my latte, my chai latte. It smelled kind of interesting, I guess, to the bee. But again, this doesn't fold down, so packing this up is not the easiest because it sticks up like that. So, but what's nice is that it comes with these little bags, so you could put all that in there, put that in there, and then cinch it up. And it's light. Again, this sticks up, so but you're in a bag, so easy enough to carry. But of course, everything starts to weigh. So if you are going to go ultralight and you just want to carry a spirit burner, then they've got some really nice pot stands that are titanium that just fold together, and it's kind of amazing. But because this, when it comes right down to it, everything starts to add up. So here's my chai latte, and it's pretty hot yet. So here's to you. This is pretty good. It's the brand Avalanche. I picked it up at Sierra. I don't even know, but it's chai latte, and it's pretty tasty for what it is. So that was that. The people that are in my campsite are packing up. I am gonna put this stuff away and get some decent tasting water. The water here is a little sulfur. That's what you do at the campground. I don't have to. I can use it, but just for drinking, this stuff doesn't taste bad. But just for drinking, I don't need to. So I'm gonna finish drinking this, kick back a little bit, and start thinking about my next meal that I'm gonna bake after I set up my camp for sure. That'll be my permanent camp for tonight. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I've got Hawaiian bun, pretzel bun. This has got 4 pieces, 4 different kinds of cheese on it. This I had left over from a thing at work. It was a 4 cheese sandwich. This has turkey and 2 kinds of cheese. I'm just melting some butter. I'm going to put butter and some spices over the top of that, and then just bake that probably not too long. I sprayed the bottom of the pan here. Probably all of 10 minutes or so. As you can see, it's heating up. So, and I've got the butter on top here. Butter on top, melting away. And so yeah, then I'll put that over the top of this. I've got, I don't know what I've got in here. I think there's some Penzi spice of some Brady Street sprinkle, and that's pretty tasty over the top. Just something else in there. Don't know what I have in there. And yeah, I'll put that on the, sprinkle it on the top, bake that for just a few minutes in there and let that all get nice, and then slice it up and have my next meal. This is an easy, I don't want to say easy bake, but it's an easy thing to put together, and it's better than just having cold sandwiches, because then this gets nice and, you know, it's not a, if you want a easy, quick lunch in camp, then of course you just go with bread, meats, cheese, easy to slap together a sandwich and everybody can be happy. But if you want something a little more rich, a little tastier, something hot. Oh, I also put ranch dressing. Just have a little cup of. We got another one in here. Thought I stuck 2 in here. I don't know. Anyway, it's in the garbage now. But a little cup of ranch dressing. Just drizzled that over each of the top of the buns. So I'm gonna finish this up. I'll show you what it looks like when I put it in. Oh. I thought it was on. Alright, so it's now in there, and it's been a couple of minutes sizzling away. I can smell the butter. Yeah, this is my little kitchen pack here. I've got some things in there. So it's a nice little setup and get things going. So we'll bring it back when it's pretty much. Alright, I think I'm just gonna check this again. It looks really tasty. That's really hot. Alright. It's staying right now at 350. I'm just gonna take this other glove and so I've opened the door a couple of times to check on it because I don't want it to burn. And it's kind of now holding at about 350. This wasn't even a full bottle of gas. And I let it run for about 20-25 minutes this morning when I was making the baked oatmeal. And it's been going for about 15 minutes right now. And just holding at that 350. Now, this morning it got up to 400 and held that very well. And I've got it wide open, so yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring that out and check it out. So there it is. Looks really good. And it's nice and crispy on the top. I'm just going to cut it. And bring one of these bad boys out, if I can. Trying not to cut through the bottom of the pan. There we go. Oh, it's sliding out of here. Check that out, little slider, and it is slippery. The reason why they call them sliders, right? All right. Probably gonna be pretty hot. Not as hot as I thought. The bun in. Cheese got real melty. But yeah, darn tasty. Could have gone a little bit longer. I was afraid that the bottom was going to get burned. It didn't. But the meat in this one was pretty, I put it on pretty thick, and so I could tell that the meat was not like hot all the way through. But that's an excellent little hot lunch. So the thing about that too is that, so if you're, you know, wanting to have more of a, like I said, a little hot lunch, this was an aluminum you purchase again at the dollar store. But you could get a little bit bigger one, and that would fit all 12. I just had a 4-pack of the little Hawaiian buns, but if you had 12, little 12 little sliders, you know, if you've got a family of whatever, 4, that's, you know, 3 apiece. But anyway, it's probably enough for everybody, with if you had some other stuff as well. But this one, like I said, had some good meat in it as well. So and the sprinkle or the seasoning on the top, just right. Again, with a little butter and the seasoning, I didn't want it to go too much because I didn't want it to burn, and it worked out. So again, you're watching me eat, but just wanted to let you know that it's an easy way to do a hot lunch if you've got that Coleman Camp Oven. It's a nice little thing to have in a car camping situation, you know, and it didn't take that long to set that up, instead of just having the, you know, standard cold cuts and sandwiches and chips and things like that for lunch. You can do something like this, and it really is simple. It doesn't take very long, you know, especially if you've got just a couple minutes of setup before the kids come back from something, or they're playing around in the campground or whatever, and you've got a few minutes to be able to do that, or even if they come back to the campground, they're doing a couple of things. It really doesn't take much time if you're going to have sandwiches anyway. You just slap this stuff together and let it just go for a few minutes, and you can kind of get things set up for lunch, and while it's heating up, and it makes a great little hot savory lunch. So there it is, another baked meal in the camp oven. And I'm going to do one more a little later. I will do a pizza. So I'm probably going to do it in this pan because I forgot my square. I have a little square pan that fits in there, so I will make kind of a almost a little personal pan pizza. I won't call it that because of the pH. Anyway, I think most people know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll make a little pan pizza in there with some pizza dough, and I've got cheese and pepperoni and sauce. So we'll try that out. Hopefully it won't burn on the bottom. That's my biggest fear, is that it'll burn on the bottom. So we'll just make sure we try and take care of that. But anyway, I'm going to finish. Well, I'm not going to finish this up, but I'm going to eat a little bit more, and then got to do some other camp chores. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to make pizza. I'm using this ragu for one, and it's not pizza sauce, but it's at least spaghetti sauce. So it'll work in this little pan, and just getting the sauce around. Oh, I forgot the garbage. All right, and then I'm going to check on this. As you can see, it's almost at 300 now, so that's good. I'm going to put pepperoni in and some mozzarella provolone. Get that all on there, and I'll get that all on, and we'll start the baking process. So again, this is pizza dough, and I can't remember. You can buy pizza dough frozen, and then we thought, and this one's easy, so you can do that. Or you can get the Pillsbury pizza dough. Again, you can use little pans and make little individual ones, although it will take a little bit more time. But you can take a bigger pan. I would take not a round pan, but I would take a long, like rectangular pan and sit it in there. And I've got the grate, the grill, or the, what you call it, the rack. That's what the oven rack, up all the way so they won't burn the bottom. Now I've just kind of destroyed my preheating, but again, you can make a deep dish type of pizza in a longer rectangular pan, and if you could probably get another rack. I don't know if you'd have to fashion one because it only comes with one. It would be nice if there were two, but it wouldn't work well for making two of them anyway. But so probably not for a large amount of people, but another type of way of baking. So I'm going to turn this off and finish putting this together, and then I'll show you what I got. It is getting dark out, but hopefully you can see the pizza. It did get a little, and I had it on the highest thing, so it got a little bit on the brown side, but it looks pretty good. Very crispy crust. And I'm going to use 2 hands, so I'm going to cut this up. So I'm losing my light, but here's the pizza. And I'm not gonna have you watch me eat this, but it turned out really well. I was about 17 minutes on that timer, and it's still kind of warm in there, but Coleman Camp Oven, fantastic. 3 meals, all baked, and I know it's getting dark out, but all day long I made 3 different meals. And now I can see here, this is probably why, right in here, I didn't get this top quite secured in there. That little pin is supposed to come inside that little clip there. And the other side is the same thing. So there was heat escaping. I didn't have that closed up really well. So that's probably why it didn't go up to 400. So I just noticed that now. Wasn't really paying much attention to it. So, oh well, it still worked beautifully. And putting it on the rack on the highest setting really saved that from burning, and it all turned out really well. I've got that single burner over there, that Coleman, just a Coleman single burner, runs off the propane. I'm just heating up some water so I can clean up my mess. I'm going to eat my pizza, and then I'm going to go inside my tent and enjoy the night. It's been a great day of the baking challenge, or the baking adventure, the baking adventure, I guess I'd call it. Trying this whole thing, baking all 3 meals out here. I'm just doing a quick overnight, but I had an adventure of baking all the meals. So it works really well, and if you want to have a little different variety, now I also have a scone mix, and I have some soda bread. I don't think I'm going to stay up and bake in the dark. I could, but I'm not going to do that. It's getting dark, and I'm just going to enjoy the pizza and call it a night. I could do it in the morning, but I need to get going really early in the morning, so unfortunately I can't set up everything and bake some scones in the morning. That would be really great, but maybe I'll come back out here after, because I gotta teach confirmation in the morning. So maybe I'll come back out, because I'm not going to take it all down. I don't have until 3 o'clock. Maybe I'll come back out here and make some scones for brunch. Anyway, if I do that, I'll include it on the video. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and subscribe and like this video, and we'll hopefully see you out there sometime baking on the trail.